Bobby, thanks for joining Chamber UK today. Tell us a bit about the campaign. This first minute's yours. How is the campaign going? What are the headlines?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I mean, obviously people have seen the national picture and we're starting to feel that on the ground as well. We're getting lots of support during the campaign. Obviously being a bit of an odd campaign as well. People expected the Conservatives to put a lot more of the National League back, but it's still going to be a challenge, and we're going to go right way to the end. And there will be residents having to answer the door to us at 10 to 10 on Thursday the 4th of July.
True campaigner. What are you hearing on those doorsteps? I mean, nationally in the polls, we're seeing the Conservatives aren't picking up, as you said, any more of that national vote share. The Lib Dems are steadily increasing their vote share, and obviously here you were, I think, 628 votes behind?
629 votes.
629 votes behind. So, the polls have you personally quite far ahead. Do you think voters will turn out on the day? Do you think voters will turn out on the day?
Yeah, I think one of the issues with the amount of focus on the polling is that it's not picking up the number of people that are actually undecided on the ground, and also who are feeling uncertain now that they've seen these poll results about which way to go. So it's been a huge job for us on the ground to sort of get those people that are undecided over to us. I think there's probably sort of three camps of people out there. Yes, there's that group of people that desperately want the Tory government to go, and we're convinced many of them to go with us. Then there's a group of people that are completely apathetic about politics in general, feel let down by all politicians, and we have to work pretty hard to convince them to trust us this time. And then there are those people that have voted Conservative all of their life and are really going to struggle with the decision to leave that voting pattern of a lifetime. And some of those are coming our way, and that only works in the power conversations, and so that's why it's so important we just keep talking to people right to the end.
And what sort of policies are you offering those people on the doorstep?
Well, probably the big three things that have got on most of our leaflets here and are dominating our conversations on our doorstep are A, the NHS, and in particular for us locally here, the future of our local hospital. B, the cost of living crisis. It's affected everybody in different ways, no matter where you are on the income scale. Somebody is either suffering with rent payments and energy bills, or it could be their mortgages have gone through the roof, so cost of living comes up an awful lot. And the third thing for us, particularly locally, is the state of our local river. We've got the River Wandle here. It's a chalk stream. It's very rare to have a chalk stream of less kind in the middle of London, and people are upset about the pollution being dropped into that river.
That's very well aligned to the national picture, or the national message of the Lib Dems, which brings me on very nicely to my next question about Ed Davey himself. He's obviously been marking his territory, being very out there with his campaigning, with his stunts. You were involved obviously in one of them at Thorpe Park. Do you think that is helping with your messaging? Some people have been saying that it's not taking the campaign seriously, but do you think it's getting the message across?
Yeah, I mean, this has probably been the most enjoyable Lib Dem campaign that I can remember. I'm sure there are more memorable ones as well in the 90s, but for the time I've been involved in politics, it's been really enjoyable. And I think people can tell the difference between Ed Davey enjoying himself and having a laugh at himself, but also still taking people's priorities seriously. So if you look at the political broadcast that Ed did, opening up his personal story about caring for his disabled son, and saying what that means for all the people that care for family and others across the country, I think the serious message is cutting across as well. So it's great that we're actually getting noticed in this campaign. So often the Liberal Democrats are squeezed out of the conversation, and it's typically about Labour and Conservatives. I mean, just look at some of the debates we've had. It's just been the head-to-head. We don't think that's right. We'd like Ed Davey to be involved in those debates as well. But if he's not, he's prepared to fall off into a lake to get the attention, and then we can talk about serious stuff after that.
Well, we've got a lake behind you, so I won't push you in, don't worry. Well, my last question, it's a bit of a cheeky one, a bit of a different one. As you know, MPs are allowed to join the lottery to then get one of their private members' bills selected, which can then become law. If you are elected as the MP for Carshalton and Wallington, and you get to submit one of those private members' bills, what would yours be?
Well, it's a tough one. Obviously, there's so many different issues you can take up, and actually one of the colleagues, Manira Wilson, is pushing a bill at the moment on kinship care, which is close to my heart. It's about family, looking after family. I was taking to the care of my grandparents when I was younger, so I would love to, if Manira doesn't have the time, to pick up that bill and take it forward. But if not, there's another issue that's come up to me locally since being a councillor, which is about care leavers and their access to universal credit. So there's actually a lower rate for people under 25, and that's there because people are assumed to be able to rely on the support of their parents while they're still young. But if you're leaving the care system at 18, that's not applicable to you. So we absolutely should abolish that lower limit on universal credit, so that people are struggling in the early part of their lives are able to access the same support as everybody else.
Lovely. Bobby, thank you for joining Chamber UK.
Thank you.